What's good, NBA family? Welcome back to another video. As always, I'm your host, John. Very happy to be here. And we got a real special video today, man. And when you have a real special video like this, you need to have a real special guest. So I had to bring on the one and only. You may know him as TB, you may know him as Trill Buckets, but I know him as my dog, Steph. My dog, how you doing?
Good, bro. Good, bro. I'm glad to be back. It's been a little while. Glad to talk hoops with you, as always.
Yes. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Had to get you back on the show, man. This is not yet, like our Steph said, this is not his first time on the show. So make sure you guys go show some love to Steph. I will have all his social medias and YouTube link in description down below. So make sure you guys get into it. But we got a real fun video plan for y'all today, man. Today we got a this or that basketball edition. So basically, I'm gonna give a topic and then I'm gonna give two players to choose from, and then both me and Steph will say who we choose and why. For example, it'll be like a better post player, Shaq or Hakeem the Dream. So just basically some barbershop y'all, man. But for everybody out there, appreciate you guys that be tuning in. Show love. Make sure you show some love to TB. Make sure you show some love to me. And let's go ahead and get into it, TB. I'm gonna start it off with a banger right here. All right. I think I texted you this one. This was the original one I texted you because this was honestly. So I'm gonna be real. I gotta give some backstory before I get into this one too. So I was
For sure.
thinking this to myself. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, like who's a better scorer between these two? And then that's when I thought of this video idea. And then that's when I thought like, oh, I gotta have TB on the show. He gonna know what he's talking about. So I say all that to say, little backstory. Better ISO scorer, Melo or Joe Johnson?
Ooh. I don't even remember you saying Joe Johnson, but I think I might give it. It sounds asinine, but I'm gonna give it to Joe Johnson.
Ooh.
His name is ISO Joe for a reason, but
For a reason,
I mean,
right?
even further than the name, like the way he was able to just go get buckets, but not just get buckets, but at will. I saw a video the other day where they were talking about, I forget who it was, but he said he played with Joe Johnson. If I'm not mistaken, it was Jeff Teague, actually. And Jeff Teague was saying, like, Joe always told him, get what you gonna get, leave the fourth quarter to me. And the fact that Joe Johnson was able to say that and still have the reputation that he has with us as basketball fans and stuff like that, it's insane. Now, of course, Melo is Melo, don't get me wrong. But I think, and this might sound crazy on surface level, just give it some time to marinate. But I think if you let Joe Johnson come into the league the way Melo came into the league as the number one guy immediately given the keys to a franchise, we might even see a ring out of the dude because we saw what he did with Atlanta and the Hawks. And of course, that was a well-rounded team, but Melo had teams that were vastly better than most any team that Joe Johnson has played on. And I would argue that Joe Johnson is up there with the type of scorer that Melo is, so long as you gave him that same opportunity. But after seeing what I saw he did to Paul Pierce, reaching for the ground, I've never seen someone cross over 5 times in a row in front of you. Not lose the ball, because those were low dribbles. Those weren't regular size up dribbles. Those are low dribbles to the ground. He had Paul Pierce pause, but on hands and knees. Like that's not something we really saw, because as Kobe fans, as we both are, Paul Pierce did give Kobe some hell too. And to know what kind of defense he played and to see Joe Johnson have a guy like that on hands and knees just about, it's craziness. Now, Melo, unstoppable. We know that. But I think Melo was more of a tough shot maker as opposed to an ISO scorer. Melo, you could stop him because he wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the quickest. That jab step and that pump fake was deadly because, of course, you knew his shot and everything else, and quick step was deadly. But if you beat him on the defensive end, he was still likely going to make that shot. Whereas Joe Johnson, there was no beating him on the defensive end. He didn't see you no more after he made his move. So I think I might go with Joe Johnson.
That's tough. That's tough. And I'm not gonna lie, Steph. This is one. I mean, really, all of these. Like, I really want to see I really want to get your take on it because, like, even me, like, I feel like there's no right or wrong here. Like, both answers are right. But just the way you let it off is great. I mean, the nigga's name is ISO Joe. Like you know what I'm saying? Like that's literally his nickname. And I feel like when I see ISO Joe play, like he's a definition of a phone booth scorer. Like you could put him in a phone booth and bro could still somehow, some way wiggle his way in a tight little space and get a bucket. With all that being said, though, Trill, I ain't gonna lie. I went with Melo. And here's why.
Okay.
So my reasoning is because I think, and from what I've seen, I think that Melo, I think he could do more than what Joe Johnson could. I think Melo could take you off that dribble, right? He could blow by you and get to the hoop, or he could back you down and either hit you with that classic fadeaway that he has, where he fades to his left shoulder. Or, I mean, he was 6'7". He was bigger than a lot of other players. He was really bullying his way to the hoop a lot of
That's
times.
very true.
Or he could just straight up shoot over you. While Joe Johnson, from like in my opinion, most times it was just like a tween hezzy pull or a tween hezzy blow by. But with all that, like I went with Melo. But with all that being said, like I'm not trying to say Joe Johnson couldn't do what Melo could do, but I just think that Melo just did it at a whole nother level. But that point that you brought up, I'm not gonna lie, of like if Joe Johnson would have been handed the keys the same way that Melo would have been handed the keys, I think this conversation could be totally different. And that's a great point. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, to push back on your point a little bit, just a little. Well, I got 2
Mhm.
points of
Let's
emphasis,
do it.
but on the first one, who's the better scorer? The guy that has to go into his bag of moves, or the guy that wins off that first move? Secondly, now
Okay,
that you say phone
that's a great
booth,
rebuttal.
that you feel me?
That's a great rebuttal. I ain't gonna lie, that's a great rebuttal. All right.
But secondly, once you said phone booth, that I guess I'd say ring a bell in my head. Do you trust Joe Johnson to go get you a bucket in those 3 seconds on the clock? You just need a bucket real quick. Go to move, you do it. Do you trust him to get to his spot, get to his move every single time? Not to say Melo won't, but do you trust him more to do that than Melo? Because with Melo is pump fake, jab, pump, spin.
Yeah.
Oh, I got you. Fade, I got you. But Joe, 5 seconds on the clock, he's scoring in 2. You feel me? So
You're right.
I
I
guess
ain't
I
gonna
would say,
lie.
what would you say to that?
Man, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I 100% agree with that. I feel like Joe Johnson was definitely first move and gone. At the max, he was doing maybe one or two counters.
Mhm.
But with Melo, it was a lot more strategic. So I'll give you that. And to answer your question, I would take Joe. If it was 3 seconds on the shot clock between Joe and Melo, yo, somebody go get a bucket. I would give it to Joe. So I ain't gonna lie. You might have just damn near swayed me, Steph. I ain't gonna lie, brother. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. You might have fucking swayed me, dog. Because I swear, like, I've been thinking about this, and I've been like, yeah, nah, I gotta go with Melo because I think he could just do more. But then again,
Mhm.
when you put it in the frame of like, well, who's the better scorer? The guy who has to do more to get to the bucket, or the guy who has to just do one move to get to the bucket? Which that's a great point. I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah,
So
somebody gave me that, and it hurt my soul when they did it. But somebody gave me that point. It was Kobe versus, I forget who it was, but I was like, Kobe has crazy counters, bro. Like there's no, and he was like, yeah, well, this guy didn't need counters. He just had his one move and went. And I was like, damn.
that's
I was
a
like,
great
I was
fucking point.
stuck. I was like, dang, because the way I look at it is counters just means you're not physically gifted enough to go to that one thing and go, which is it, not to say you're not skilled enough, just the physical gifts aren't there. Like we know Kobe wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the most athletic, so he had to develop those counters. Same with Melo, he wasn't the fastest, he was stronger than people, so we, like you said, he was bully balling. But when it comes to that, just go get a bucket, I was always taught one move and go. You feel me? So, and that for me at least, that's why I personally go with Joe Johnson.
I like that. I like that. And that the way you frame that perfectly transitions us to this next topic because this next one I have, okay, is better ball handler, Kyrie or Allen Iverson. Now, this one is going to be tough, Steph. And the reason why I say it perfectly transitions us is because, so look, I think that this question really depends on like how you like to watch your hoops because I think they both for sure got handles, but it's in different styles. And I think
Mm-hmm.
Allen Iverson, he had, I think, he had handles, but I think he was just so much quicker and faster than everybody else that it was just one move and gone. Like one crossover, and now he got the step on you, he's gone. Versus someone like Kyrie, who I think he just has more finesse when he dribbles. And also, like when you watch Kyrie, a lot of the times that first move that he does, it's a setup move to his counter because he
Mm-hmm.
has like unlimited counters. So my question to you, and I love the way you framed like that last one because it's like, all right, who's the better player? The player who has to get into their counters or the player who just does the first move? Because Allen Iverson just is one move bandit, one doing that
Fact.
move and he's gone. Kyrie setting you up with that crossover so he could spin, and if you're there on the spin, he's going behind the back, and if you're going behind the
Mm-hmm.
back, then so he's got counters on counters. So I really am interested to see who you got, Kyrie or Allen Iverson.
So before I choose, I want to just conceptualize this a little bit, and because I think the Joe Johnson Melo one, it's a lot easier to compare because they played in the same exact era, pretty much.
Yep.
With this one, I think it's a little different because I think one could argue Kyrie plays in a tougher era defensive wise. And what I mean defensive wise, I don't mean throwing bodies at you. I more so mean it's more of
Rules.
one-on-one defense. So we see more talent as one-on-one defenders. Whereas back then, it was stack the paint. We saw 5 dudes guarding AI. AI was just that fit fast. He was that good. And I'll even say myself, my first ever crossover was the AI crossover. I can't tell you how many times before I started playing AAU, I got called for a carry and I hated it every single time because it was like, bro, he's doing it to, I saw him do it to Jordan and you calling me for a carry? I can't even palm the ball. Like, so these are 2 dudes that I've really watched a lot. Now, with regard to the handle, I think I have to go Kyrie. And I would go Kyrie more so because, and it sounds contradictory. I know it does, but the counters with regard to dribbling, it's a lot more creative than with the shot making, if
Mhm.
in my opinion, in a sense that when you do counter as a dribbler, you have a fraction of a second to ever counter. When
Yeah.
somebody shows up in your face once you come off of the screen, you have a fraction of a second to make the right read, right counter, etc. Of course, AI one move and go, and he was a one-man wrecking crew. He led a team full of defenders to the finals as the only scorer. But the conversation is better handle. And when we get to Kyrie, I've watched Kyrie go in a Team USA practice and dribble through 5 dudes, 5 of the best NBA dudes that we've
Yeah.
ever seen, and get a layup. I saw him up against Kobe, mixing Kobe, one of the better one-on-one defenders. When we see Kobe pull up his shorts, we know his
Yeah.
business. We
For
saw that. I've seen Kyrie do things that I don't think AI might have been able to do, not because he just can't do it, but because when it comes to that creativity, Kyrie is bar none. He's at a level that I don't think really will be touched for a while. And I think creativity goes into ball handling a lot more than people realize because, like I said, and even you as a player on the court, if shit, I'll say it this way: if you've broken a press by yourself, you understand how hard it is to really counter as multiple bodies are coming at you at the same at one time. You get past one dude, now the ball's hanging in your left hand. You got to figure out how to get past this dude that's coming from your left side while the other dude backside is rotating, trying to help him. If you get past him, Kyrie has done that from start to finish in his career. And while AI's handle was immaculate and ridiculous, I think he was more of a quick guy. He was more of
Mhm.
a I don't want to use the word shifty, but he used his quickness
Yeah.
as a player and at his foot speed, whereas Kyrie uses more of his shiftiness. He uses he's almost like a wide receiver getting off the line with the basketball in his hand. You don't know where he's about to go. Um, and in that sense, especially that creativity aspect, I gotta go Kyrie. Like, and I know it sounds contradictory, but that's another thing to it. AI, once he did his one move, he almost had to shoot pretty much immediately because he knew there was a back line of guys waiting for him at the rim. And if they weren't at the rim, he was just gonna pull up. Whereas Kyrie, sometimes he'll pull up or he'll do what he has to do, but the way Kyrie sets up different things, like I know you mentioned how he sets up his counters, but one thing that's always underrated and one thing I studied about him, like when I was in high school, the way he sets up screens. I used to love how Kyrie would come up court, he'll go behind the back, but as soon as the ball goes into his left hand, he's going double behind the back. Now his defender got hit by the screen and he's going the other way. It's things like that push him a little bit more, because not only does he set up his counters, he also sets up the defender without the defender even knowing they're being set up. And even when the defender knows they're being set up, he has a counter for when the defender catches when they got set up. So all in all, I gotta go Kyrie.
Bro, my brother, I'm glad we're on the same page with that one because I'm right there with Kyrie. I think just the simple fact that he has unlimited counters shows you right there that he has the best handles, because that basically means that at no point can you put him in a position, whether you triple team him, double team him, boxing one, and he's never gonna just pick up the ball and say, "Damn, I'm out of moves. I don't know what to do."
Mm-hmm.
Like he's always got, like how you said, he's just always got that creativity going. He's got the ball on his string like none other. And then, kind of like how you alluded to earlier, I just think that, and this is no disrespect to Allen Iverson, and I really hope nobody takes this disrespect, but I also think that, like, it's not that he had crazy handles. I think that he was just so much faster than everybody. Like, he
Yeah.
was so fast, dog. And it's not that Kyrie isn't fast, but I just think that Kyrie, he more just plays with the ball instead of relying on his speed. Allen Iverson was just like, bro, that crossover when he was going up court was so quick that, like, by the time you turn around, he's already got the step on you, and now he's already
Mm-hmm.
gone. Versus someone like Kyrie, who he'd given you that first crossover. If you don't bite for it, he's got another one and another one, and then
Yep.
behind the back. So yeah, I'm right there with you, brother. I'm definitely going Kyrie, and also, like, it's the style I like to watch more, because some people
Yeah.
may not like some, especially OGs. Like OGs may not like the just too excessive dribbling. Like, when you're at the gym and there's OGs that just want you, like,
Get
either
off
two
of it.
dribbles.
Get off of
Yeah,
it.
come on, bro. Like, come on, OG, stay in the corner, man.
Oh
Stay in the
God.
corner.
I see you, bro. I'm gonna get you open. I'm gonna get you a bucket. Just stay there.
Exactly, bro. So yeah, so I mean, for all those reasons, and the fact that, I mean, at the end of the day, it's I feel like it's subjective as to what you like watching more, and I like watching Kyrie and all his finesse more. So I'm going with
And not
Kyrie
for
on that.
nothing, I can think to a lot more Kyrie moves. When I think of AI, all I think of is the crossover. I don't think
For
of a
real.
behind the back. I don't think of a tween cross. I don't think of I don't, none of that. And even crazier, Kyrie, Kyrie's so nice as a dribbler, he doesn't have a regular crossover. It's almost always an in and out cross. Always in and out cross.
Every
And I'm
time.
gonna tell y'all now, if you hoop, that in and out cross is deadly.
Deadly.
Just get that move in your bag, deadly. And with Kyrie, it's not a just boom boom. It's a, and you can't, at that point you're already done because you don't know where he's going. So yeah. And like I said, no disrespect to AI, but past the crossover, what is there? You feel
Yeah.
me?
I think it's just speed. Besides that, it's just that.
Right.
So absolutely. All right. Well, I'm glad Kyrie made an appearance on the list, and Kyrie might make another appearance. So let's stay tuned. But for now, TB, let's keep it pushing and let's get to the next one. TB, better off the dribble shooter, prime James Harden or prime Kevin Durant?
Whew,
I'll let you
whew.
decide. I'll let you decide what a prime Kevin Durant is. I don't know
Oh
if you want to
my
look at last
god.
year or prime.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Ooh.
It's gonna be
That's
a
a
tough
tough one because I as soon as you said it in my head, no question, Prime Harden. But then
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been watching OKC Durant clips.
Mm.
He was on something.
Some
I
shit.
like pre KD Achilles on
Man.
something crazy. Like the shiftiness in his move. I saw him do a pound, runaway. I said, "Oh my God, KD! I haven't seen that in years." Like,
Yes, KD is
so
different, bro.
I think I'm gonna go KD, and I think I'm gonna go KD because, like, now that at first it seemed kind of hard, but I think I'm gonna go KD because KD more so has the one dribble pull up. He has the step back. He has the side step. Not to say Harden didn't have those things, but more often than not, Harden lulled you to sleep and was watching for where you went on defense. And once you made
Mhm.
that one wrong move, he's out of there and doing the opposite. And I think he was much better as a step back shooter, but off the dribble, more so like dribble pull up into it. Of
Mhm.
course, we saw that. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like that was more so on the perimeter. With KD, we saw it on the 3-point line. We saw it
He
at the
made it.
mid range. We saw it getting to the cup. He had all three levels of doing it, and of course, getting to the cup isn't off the dribble, but he was able to get to the cup so easily because his off the dribble shot making was so good. When he got to that mid range, as soon as he hesitated, people rose. He's at the cup. If they didn't rise, it's I'm grabbing this, I'm shooting it off the dribble. And even till this day, even if we want to go past OKC KD, we go to Golden State. I watched him come up court off the dribble in LeBron's mouth, hit a dagger three. We going home and we taking this ring with us. I saw
Mhm.
him in Brooklyn. I know his toe was on the line, but that was a ridiculous shot. That was
Ridiculous.
ridiculous. And even now in Phoenix, he's at a point where, and I know he's past his prime, but if he goes up for a midi, I don't think he's missing. Like
Yeah.
he's like how I viewed Steph in 2016, 2017, where as soon as it went up,
Everything
that's in the
is
is
just going in.
bottoms, no question. And that's how I feel about KD right now. And also, I'm a fan of longevity. I'm a fan of someone that can do it. And that's been my biggest gripe with Harden over the years. After that prime Harden was gone, it was almost like we're forced to see more of a facilitating type of Harden. Of course, Harden can still score and do his thing or whatever, but KD never stopped being what he was. And if you look at his pre-Achilles numbers compared to his post-Achilles numbers, they're almost mirroring. They're almost the
Yeah.
same. So that I think goes into it even more because you tore your Achilles. And if for y'all that are watching, if you don't know, shooting off the dribble takes a lot of explosion from that first step,
Mhm.
aka your Achilles. So with that said, for him to still be able to not only get to his spots but rise up to a way that I'm like, that's cash, no question about it. I'm gonna give it to him. I got to, because and I love Harden. Don't get me wrong, prime Harden, Houston Harden, insane, ridiculous. But I think he was more of a mastermind with regard to manipulating defenses, while KD was more of a I don't care what defense is here. I'm pulling up on you and I'm cashing it, and y'all better hope I have an off night.
Absolutely. And you know what's crazy, TB? Like you brought up shooting off the dribble and how in Achilles injury could really kind of, bother
Mm-hmm.
that. But it's like just bro, Achilles injuries like back then or even not too long ago were looked at as like, damn, your career is now different forever. Like you'll never be the same player ever again. And a lot of people said
Mm-hmm.
that about Kevin Durant, and bro came back, and like how you said, numbers damn near mirror, which is wild. But as far as my answer, bro, I'm also rocking with Kevin Durant. I think that you cannot replicate being 6'11", really 7 foot, and
Yeah.
just being able to just rise over niggas and just shoot. You just can't replicate that. Like there's nothing that Harden can add to his bag that he'll be able to be 7 foot and just shoot right over players. Like I have literally with my own two eyes. I mean, you just named it yourself. I've seen Kevin Durant easily rise up over Giannis, over Kawhi, over AD, over Evan Mobley. Like these dudes with long ass arms, these
Mm-hmm.
lengthy players. He just comes down court, dribble, rises right over them, and shoots over them.
Doesn't see
While
him.
like he doesn't even see him, right? While like with James Harden, I feel like part of the reason why he was so effective off the dribble was because at the time, bro, like you couldn't get too close to him. Like he had damn near found a loophole in that with that arm hook. Like he found like a
Mm-hmm.
loophole in the system with the arm hook, which I don't even blame him for. Like, all right, like he's just getting in the rules
Yeah,
and
you got to do
figuring that
that.
out. Yeah, it's just, I mean, bro, at the end of the day, it's a
It's
game. And
gamesmanship. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Right. So he shoot. If you want to do it, you should have figured it out. He figured it out. It is what it is. But if for this question we're talking about just a pure off the dribble shooter, and I just don't think that there's nothing that James Harden could add to his bag that could replicate being 7 foot and just shooting over niggas. And like how you said, like KD gets to his spot like no other, bro. And just like a lot of times in basketball, like I've heard this so many times, like growing up playing, like great D, but better O. Like great defense,
Mm-hmm.
but just better offense. Like there's just nothing you could do, bro. So yeah, I'm going with Kevin Durant on that. But I do have a follow up question for you though. Like if
For
you had
sure.
to choose the GOAT, like the greatest off the dribble shooter of all time, like would you still go Kevin Durant or would you go somebody else? And this is for something that you'll see. I'll reveal it as to why I'm asking later in the episode, but I just wanted to know, like, is that who you would rock with?
I think as of right now, I'll say yes.
Okay,
Um, I think Luca will get to that point.
get to that. Okay,
Um, I don't know if it's because I'm very high on Luca. I mean, his accolades do speak for themselves, but
sure.
I think Luca will get to that point, especially if he starts to take his weight and stuff more serious.
Mhm.
But as of right now, yeah. I think I
Okay,
give it to KD.
I would too. All right, bet. Yeah, me too, brother. I'd also give it to KD. But all right, I just would just want to know. But let me keep it pushing and let's get to another one. This is still about shooting, but this one is a better catch and shoot shooter: Clay Thompson or Ray Allen. Tough one.
Ooh,
It's a tough one.
that's
It's a tough one,
tough.
brother.
I think I'm gonna go Clay. I'm gonna
Clay.
go Clay, and I'm going Clay because of the evolution of the game and how we've moved to the more perimeter centric play. So it's forced him to learn how to maneuver without the ball to be able to get to his spots and catch and shoot. Ray Allen, not to say he didn't have plays and stuff drawn up for him, but most of his were floppies. Like it was just a floppy, plain floppy,
Mhm.
and we gonna go. Whereas with Clay, he has a little floppy, the elevator screens, down screens, flare screens. He even set screens for Steph as for Steph is the decoy and he's really getting the ball off the screen. Um, so I think in that aspect, I would give it to him because his footwork has to be better in that regard. You're forced to have better footwork when I'm setting a screen going from squared up to now I'm flaring out. I have to know my footwork going from that screen to flaring out and doing it in an efficient way. Whereas Ray didn't have to really worry about those sorts of things, which it it does play against him a little bit, and it's not his fault. But also, we can't argue with how many points he had on 4 dribbles, 4, 5, 6 dribbles. How many ever
60,
dribbles it was?
60 points on 11 dribbles, nigga. That
Like,
was crazy.
bro, that
That was
is
wild.
nuts. Like
That is wild.
we're never seeing anything like that again. And I think something like that, it's I I know you didn't ask, but I might just put Ray third on the list. It might be
Damn.
Steph and Clay at the top two and Ray's at the third.
Damn. Okay. Hold that thought. I promise. I promise we're gonna get there. Hold that thought. But listen, all right, brother. So this is a situation. This is a situation where I feel like numbers aren't really black and white because, like how you said, the this is two different games, two different eras. Like
Mhm.
during Clay Thompson's like career. I mean, even last year, like this was last year was far from Clay Thompson's prime. I think we can all agree with that. But he even shot 45% on catch and shoot 3 pointers last year. And throughout Ray's career, he's only shot like 40 at the most, 42% from the 3 point line on catch and shoot. But that's
45% is crazy.
it's crazy, bro. It's wild, right? It's just wild for a season, right?
That's
It's
so
insane.
insane.
That's insane, dog. Almost shooting 50%. Almost damn near every shot you make is damn near cashing, bro.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
wild.
Like you might as well get back on defense, dog. Don't even worry about it.
but but look, so I think that like if you look at the numbers, it'll always favor Clay, but that's because also the era he played in. Like he just straight up
Mhm.
shot more threes. So I think the numbers are always going to favor Clay. Because I mean, Ray Allen's last year in the league was 2012, 2013, I believe, and they were attempting like 19 3 pointers per game that year. Just last year, they were just attempting 34 3 pointers per game. So
Yeah.
the number is
Like
just extremely skewed, right? So I feel like if you look at stats, he'll always say Clay. But I'm not gonna lie, gang. Like I don't know if I'm ready to say Clay over Ray for catch and shoot, but only because, bro, that catch and shoot that Ray had in the corner from that Chris Paul, I mean
straight
from that
cash.
Chris Bosh rebound is insane, Brody. Like, bro, you're backpedaling, you don't go out of bounds,
You
you
didn't even
catch
look
that motherfucker.
down to see where your
Nigga,
feet were.
what? That right there, bro. To me, is one of the coldest catch and shoot shots of all time. Especially when you add the fact that like that helped LeBron win the finals and like helped his legacy like tremendously. So honestly, like stats wise, it'll always favor Clay, but I think that's just
For
because the era
sure.
he played in. But I'm gonna be honest, like if I had to pick one, I think I might still go Ray, man. I think I still might go Jesus Shuttleworth.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad. Actually, okay. I think I got. I'm
You
not
got
gonna
some?
try to sway you, but there's just
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Ray has never been asked to do what Clay has been asked to do on the defensive end,
True. Absolutely.
and as a shooter, them legs go quick. So to be able to do
Mm,
what you do on defense and be one of the best defenders we've seen on one of the best teams all time, while being able to keep your legs to catch and shoot, I give it a lot of props, especially because like me, I remember like my sophomore junior year, I'm good for 4 or 5 of them in the first half. That fourth quarter, it was like, ooh, these are kind of short. Let me get to the cup. So I got a different level of respect for the guys that keep legs,
that's real.
especially guys that are defenders like that. And I think 3 and D became a real title because of Clay.
For sure. Yeah, like two-way players, like
Mm-hmm.
becoming a real two-way player. I ain't gonna lie, TB. That's another really good point you made. Because man, that is true. Like that is true. Like and Clay in his prime was legitimately being asked to guard the other team's
He's
best
guarding the
player.
best
Like,
defense. Yeah,
yeah,
best
he was
player.
guarding another team's best player every single time down court and was still giving you that. That's a really good point because them legs will go quick. So man, I don't know, TP. I don't know if I'm ready to switch on over. I don't know. You might have swayed me again, nigga. I ain't gonna lie, TP. You might
Hey,
have got me again.
that just came to mind though, because I'm like, really though, like them legs do go. Like we see it with players now, like they stop doing so much on the defensive end because they're asked of more on the offensive end. You feel me? So the fact that he didn't have to, sacrifice that defensive side and still be the offensive guy that he is that's a lot to me. For me.
That's a real point. And see, this is why I wanted you on the show, TB. Because like you gotta you gotta think about it. Like this is some shit like who like that like a nigga that hoops knows, right? Or just someone that plays like they'll know. Because I feel like a lot of times, bro, like people just look at these NBA players like they're robots. They're like 2K players
Mm-hmm.
that like that they're on 100% stamina every single time. Like no, bro, these are real life people, and you got to take into account that like, bro, I'm not gonna be able to give you 100% on both ends. Like if you want me 100% on the defensive end, like I'm gonna only have like 80 to give you on the offensive end.
Right.
100 on the offensive end, I'm gonna only have so much to give on the defensive end. And that's a great point. So not only do I want to give you your credit, but I'm saying for the people out there, man, if y'all want to stay in tune with some real real knowledge, some real hoops, man, make sure you check out TB because this the kind of knowledge and gems he dropping. But follow up, my brother. Who's the
Mm-hmm.
go catch and shoot shooter to you though? Because I asked you about off the dribble, who's the go catch and shooter? Would it still be Clay to you?
I argue with myself so much about Clay versus Steph. I
Mm,
argue with myself so
mm.
much because that same point that I just made about the defensive end, while Steph doesn't has never been asked of that on defense, we also know he runs the most of any player we've ever seen just all time. Like I just saw a clip the other day. It was against the Lakers, matter of fact. He like D'Lo was guarding him pretty well. He got off the ball. As soon as he got off the ball, he was running to the opposite wing. And that takes a lot out of you as well because he's sprinting when he's doing this. He's not just lollygagging and no. As soon as he gets off the ball, this man is sprinting wherever the next spot is that he needs to go. And I think I gotta give it to Steph. I think I gotta
Okay.
give it to Steph, especially like right now. The main like catch and shoot shot that's popping in my head from him. I don't know if you remember this. I can't recall what year, but they were playing the Pelicans in the first round. I think it was 80s last year with the Pelicans. And if I'm not mistaken, it was wearing red, and I think they was in New Orleans. But it was a shot to go ahead or tie it or something like that. He missed it on like the wing, and then he immediately like shifted to the corner, caught it, and he shot it. But when he shot it, he knew AD, and there was one other player that was contesting it. And when he shot it, it wasn't like a normal just rise up shoot. He like let it go and kind of like
Oh,
cowered
kind of
away
tuck.
because he was
Yeah,
about
I
to.
know exactly.
Yeah.
Mm,
And
I remember.
that shot is so ingrained in my head because it's like, do you know how locked in you got to be to make something like that? Like he's not completely rising up. He let it go and like
Yeah,
ducked away.
just tucked off.
And it's shot like that, shots like that kind of are give me that edge for him because thinking about the foot placement, hand placement, because you don't catch the ball perfectly every time with your hands on the seams or wherever you like it. Um,
Which is tough.
Tough,
I was just talking about one of my homies the other day. Like, bro, like if I don't catch the ball with the seams, like it damn near makes it a little hard. Like I'm a damn near
hard.
I'm a damn near take a little longer. Like I'm gonna catch the ball and I'm gonna try to like find the seams real quick. Like if I don't
Mm-hmm.
catch it in the seams, like I don't feel as confident shooting that jumper. I ain't gonna lie.
And that's a fact. Like shit, I'm the type where if I don't have the seams as soon as I catch it, you about to get
Swing
a setup dribble from me, and I'm
that.
shooting it or I'm
Mhm.
swinging it, one of the two. But that's one of those things that goes into Steph where I've seen him catch the ball on the like the seam of the ball that's like this
On
or
the side.
whatever,
Yeah.
cash it. I'm like, that was nasty, but it cash like it didn't touch anything. But even further, that gold medal game,
Oh my
those last 4 or 5 shots,
out of this world. That was out
ridiculous.
of this
That
world.
last shot, bro, with 2 hands in his face. You had LeBron and I don't remember. Was it
Kevin
I don't
Durant.
remember. Yeah,
I think it was Kevin
yeah.
Durant.
That's what makes it even crazier. You looked off a wide open KD and a wide open LeBron. And I know it wasn't catch and shoot, but this goes into the
This next one.
aspect of this thing is ridiculous. He is ridiculous. Like, but yeah, to answer that, yeah, I think I might have to give it to Steph. But I will say I battle with it all the time.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I think we can both agree that Steph is like the goat shooter, right? Like just like
For
as an
sure.
overall. Okay. All right. So I'm not even going to include him in this next question. So don't rip me, nobody in the comments. Like we are all in understanding that Steph is the goat shooter, but who's the better? Who's just the better? Because I asked you off the dribble, I asked you catch and shoot. Now, who's just a better shooter? Period. Dame or Clay?
I think I gotta go Dame.
Okay.
I'm about
All right.
to say something that sounds insane. It's gonna sound insane, but let it marinate for a second and it might make sense. It might still sound insane. Take the rings and like the accolades and stuff away from Steph. He's pretty much Dame. They're they're
Yeah.
almost the same person.
Yeah.
Of course, Steph has done it at a way higher clip, and of course, like that does go into the fact that like that was his bread and butter to start always. Dame came into the league as more of an athletic dude. He had to get to that shooting. But Dame is one of those dudes as a shooter. And I know he had a down year this past year, but I think if him and Giannis start to click, we're gonna see a lot more of the Dame that we saw before.
Mhm.
But even further, Dame is doing this as a number one. Clay has not and will not be a number one. Even going to the Mavericks, he's about to be the third option, which I will say it does help him as a shooter. I think he's about to get more looks than ever before. However, when I see that high screen and roll setting up for Dame coming up the court, and we all 50,000 in the arena, all 10 guys on the court, including the rest, we know is going up. We also know is going in too. And I think it's a testament to his shooting ability that certain guys like Paul George think him shooting where he shot was a bad shot.
That was crazy.
I think that's a testament to who he is because also with Clay's style of jumper, because it is the prototypical jumper that we all would want to teach our kids by far. That's the jumper,
Absolutely.
let L in the arm, hold your follow through, all that, everything, feet placement, everything. The thing about it though, the way he shoots takes away power from his shot. And the fact that Dame is able to extend that 35 feet with ease, all the while still doing the other things that he does, because he can still come off the screen and hit you with a mid-range shot real quick. He can still come off the high screen and roll, get to the three-point line and shoot it. I think that goes into him being a better shooter because he's able to do it in different ways. Now, of course, Clay is way better than him as a catch and shoot guy. But as a catch and shoot guy, you're relying on the other guy to get you the ball.
Mhm.
As the way Dame is as a shooter, he doesn't have to rely on anybody to get him the ball. He doesn't. He's just gonna put it up, and it's cash. There's no question about it.
Absolutely. And I am in agreement with you for all those reasons, bro. I think that like being a shooter is much more than being a off the dribble shooter. Being a shooter is much more than being a catch a shoot shooter. Like you got to be able to combine all that. And I think that when you combine that, like how you said, Clay is a much better catch and shoot, but I don't think Clay would even be able to touch what Dame is doing if he had that same pressure that Dame had. If he had like, yo, we need you to create every time. You're gonna get 1A defensive attention, and I don't think that
Mm-hmm.
Clay would have been able to replicate what Dame did. But with that being said, now here's the reasons why I kept asking you, who your GOAT in each category is because I wanted to see if because like I said, being the GOAT shooter. I mean, being the GOAT catch and shoot shooter doesn't mean you're the GOAT shooter. Being the GOAT
Mm-hmm.
off the dribble doesn't mean you're the GOAT shooter. So I wanted to see if you had a GOAT for a different goat for every single one of those categories, or if your shooter goat would just basically be would be the goat of all that. And I think we were both in agreement that our shooter goat is Stephen Curry, but for catch and shoot, I would take Clay, and for off the dribble, I would take KD. So I basically I say all that to say like, shit, I think it's a different goat for every single one of those different categories. Would you agree, or would you say Steph is for all those?
No, I
Does that even make
agree.
sense?
No, no, no. It makes perfect sense, and I agree also because of the aspect of I think there's also a go mid range shooter. I think there's also a
Okay.
GOAT shot creator. I think that all goes into shooting. But
Mhm.
when we're saying Steph is the GOAT shooter, I think that's more so coming from if we give you 10 3-point shots, who's
How
making the
many gonna make?
most?
Yeah.
That's vastly different from who can create their shot better than the next. Because if you told me Steph doesn't have Draymond or Zaza Pachulia or whoever else has done those illegal screens all those years, I don't know
KG
that he scores as much as he scores. You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Whereas KD, he's still KD regardless of any of that. He cannot go to Golden State and he's still KD regardless of any of that. So I definitely agree with that. Um, yeah, Steph is we already agree GOAT shooter. I'd go KD off the dribble. I'd go Clay, probably catch and shoot. Would you consider off the dribble and shot creating different?
Yeah, yes, I would, to be honest with you. I would because I feel like if and when you're asking me just an off the dribble shot, I'm thinking of someone jab one step going up. You telling
Right.
me just shot creation, like you could set somebody up, bring them to the
Mm-hmm.
post, work in the post, try to just create a shot, however, right? But I
For
think
sure.
when you tell me off the dribble, it's just one or two dribbles or maybe three dribbles at absolute max, and you pulling up on somebody.
Okay. So then, yeah, who would be my shot creator goat then?
Man, let me see. Shot creator. Damn near. Would is it a stretch to say Kobe?
You
Would it be a
know,
stretch
I
to say
would. It's
Kobe?
funny because I was thinking Kobe, and my justification for it was the counters that he has,
Mm-hmm.
because those counters are his way of creating shots. And
Absolutely.
the way I've seen him create a shot from the mid range to the 3-point line, like in Toronto, he got two people on him, jab, jab, step through, shoot. What like, yeah, I think Kobe's the GOAT shot creator. I
Yeah,
think that's fair
I
to
think
say.
I'd
I'm
say
not gonna
that.
lie.
I would say that. I would definitely
Yeah.
say. I know. Oh man, look at this. We making up topics. TB, I didn't even. I was planning on doing that. I like it. No, all right, TB. I like that. But okay. What about this? Who's the better passer, Magic Johnson or John Stockton?
It's magic, bro. It's Magic, and
Yeah, thank
I'm also like, bro, that assist record is so inflated, bro. It's so
thank you,
inflated.
TV,
The way
bro.
the way they changed the rule for assists and stuff, he gave it to Carl. Let Carl work and like, bro,
Every
what are
time.
we doing? I saw if y'all know Laker fans the I forget what game it is, but it's the poster that he's palming the ball and just throwing it like this, like
Yep.
Magic is yeah, bro. Get Stockton out of here.
Okay.
I'm
All
not
right.
even about
Cool.
to elaborate
Get
on
into
that,
that.
bro.
Okay. Look, bro, this nigga's name is Magic. He got his name Magic because of his
No,
passing
because of
abilities.
Irving.
Bro, like, come on, bro. And the crazy thing is, I be telling people all the time, bro. Like John Stockton's assists and steals number is so like skewed, bro. Like, not only was the rules different, like how you said, but also, bro, he out of the 19, and I mean credit to him for this, but out of the 19 years that he played, he only missed 22 games, bro. Like he
God
was the
damn, I didn't. Oh
oh yeah,
God.
that nigga played every game, bro. He played so many games. And then for Magic Johnson, bro, like literally he there's only 7 players who have more I'm sorry, 6 players have more assists than him. All 5 of those guys who have more assists than him, they all played like 400 more games than Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's career got cut short. I think he would have easily became the
Oh
all-time
yeah.
leading assist if his career hadn't got cut short. And bro, he's a trailblazer, bro. Like literally, not as much for our generation, but like the older generation, they would always be like, "Oh yeah, like I remember being like 6'9" or 6'8" and being like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I have to go to the post." And then I saw somebody like Magic, and it gave me life. I could be a point guard. So like, bro, like, I'm going Magic Johnson 10 times out of 10. I ain't gonna lie.
Without
We didn't get a
Magic,
good.
we don't have LeBron, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you,
Like
bro.
simple as that. Like, and that also speaks to his passing ability because I actually saw a video today. I don't know who the dude was, but he was like he played against Braun in like sixth, seventh grade or whatever. And
Mhm.
he said the year before, he was like all the vision, the IQ, the passing, everything you see. He was like, we saw that, but he was only 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", something like that in like sixth, seventh grade. He was like a year later. Yeah, that's insane to think about
That's
because
insane.
yeah.
All right.
Like he was saying it like it was normal, 6'2" in seventh grade, right?
That's
But
crazy.
he said a year later in that same tournament, he said they saw LeBron's team or whatever checking in. I forgot what player he was talking to, but he was like, "Is that the same dude?" And they said it was him, but he grew 4, 5, 6 inches, so he's like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" now. They was like he was still doing all the passing stuff he was doing before, and they were like, as soon as they saw him grow to that size, it was like, oh, we just got a more athletic Magic that's about to like come to the league. And like everyone knows Magic, bro. That dude, Magic knew he was that dude. If y'all watch Winning
Mm,
Time, the way
yeah.
he negotiated his rookie deal, bro,
He
and
blew it.
he got a ring. He got that's the ultimate payout, bro. The Bus
Man.
family owes him for life, bro.
Man. They owe him them for life, dog. Nah, I agree with you, bro. Yeah, Magic was bro. He low key like created the whole Showtime Lakers. Like if it wasn't for him, like it wouldn't be no Showtime Lakers, bro. Like David Stern gives him credit for like saving the NBA for as far as
Man.
like people want to watch because he made the game fun and all because of his passing ability. So I'm going with
Mm-hmm.
him every time, 10 times out of 10.
Yes, sir. I'm glad
All
we
right,
agree with that one because stock be
yeah, he that but see people who say John Stockton, like that's the people who they not really watching the game. They just looking at the stats. They looking at the numbers. It's more than that, y'all. Numbers ain't
it
black and
facts.
white.
And we
But
got YouTube
TV,
now, so y'all got no excuse not to go
no
back.
excuse. No excuse to not go back, man. You can
We
literally
all we
watch
had was
whatever.
NBA TV and watching Hardwood Classics when they came on. Y'all got YouTube. Y'all better get on there.
Yeah, ain't no excuse. You better make it happen.
On
You better make
God.
it happen, man. TB, better defender, just a defender. Okay, I
Mhm.
take at it however you want to look at it. Kevin Garnett or Kawhi Leonard?
KG or Kawhi. Damn. That's a tough one.
You can see have some time to sit on that. You want some time to sit on that? You want me to go first for this one?
You go first on this one.
All right, so I thought about this a lot, and like I said, I still don't really know who I'm gonna go with, but from my pondering on it, I went with Kawhi because I think that he can guard more positions than Kevin Garnett can, and a little bit better. And like the reason why I say this is like Kawhi Leonard can legitimately like shut down positions 1 through 3. Like I'm not worried. Like if he put him anywhere on a 1 through 3, he's got that. I think he can hold his own against 4s and 5s because he's freaking
Mhm.
6'7" with a 7'3" wingspan, and he can laterally slide with the best of them. His legs are like as strong as freaking tree trunks, so he's not going to get moved easy in the post. We know he's got that ridiculous size hand, but also another reason why I really went with Kawhi is because like, bro, I've seen coaches game plan around Kawhi's defense. So like basically whoever Kawhi is guarding, they'll put that player in the weak side corner and run a play on the strong side wing on the other side to basically get Kawhi as far away as he possibly can from where the play is being ran. And like I just haven't seen many other like players force a coach to now you got to change your entire game plan to where you got to get a off ball switch and then put me in the corner because if not, I'm
Mhm.
disrupting whatever. Another reason too, I think that Kawhi's a lot more strategic on the defensive end. I'm not saying that KG was all bark, but I do believe that like a lot of KG's defense was like just intimidating niggas. I'm gonna be honest, like he
That's
was just
fair.
intimidating people. I think that Kawhi, like bro, Kawhi's silent. Kawhi's just do what he do out there. And like if you watch Kawhi like on defense, he only swipes at the ball when it's on the way down. And like that way he can stay out of foul trouble.
Ooh.
And I also think he plays the passing lane a little bit better than Kevin Garnett. But granted, they play different positions. So I say all that to say I think I have Kawhi, but I'm not even 100% sure, to be honest with you, brother. Because I know KG can guard the post better than Kawhi.
I think you got me on that. Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna go Kawhi. Now that like what you said, I'm a I love a versatility guy. The switchability, love that. We've seen Kawhi guard the likes of Cat, stand him up. We've seen him guard, other bigs, and they can't move him in the post because he's just that strong. Now, that could be a testament to the bigs being a little bit weaker in a sense that they're more perimeter centric. But that also goes to the other point of, yeah, KG will guard the post well, but put KG on KD, what the fuck gonna happen? I'm gonna tell you.
Blow by. Blow by, nigga. Watch out. Bye.
Whereas if I put Kawhi on KD, I'm liking my chances. Like, of course,
A lot
KD
more.
is
Yeah.
KD, but I'm sitting there like shit. Kawhi might just pluck him and dunk it on the other end. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Kawhi. Also because I love that you said he swipes the ball on the way down. One thing I was always taught as a defender, you never reach when the ball's in the
Yeah.
offensive player's hands. You always reach as soon as it leaves their hand, is about to go hit the floor, or just in that in between stage between when it's in their
Mhm.
hand and whatever. I've seen Kawhi palm the ball out of people's hands and some more
Man.
other crazy crap. Like he's helping backside. His man's cutting. He turns his back to the ball and still gets the screen as they're bounce passing to the cut, or not the screen, the steal as they're bounce passing to the cutter without looking at the ball. We've seen Kawhi do things that like, and his freakish measurables do go into it, but I think Kawhi's had a harder job on the defensive end, all the while being a stout defender. He's had to guard. He came into the league 2011. He's had to guard
Mhm.
Kobe. He's had to guard Bron. He's had to guard. KG didn't guard Kobe. That was
Paul
Brandon
Pierce.
Bass. Sorry ass. That was Paul Pierce. That was that was like dudes like that. Whereas Kawhi, he's taking that responsibility. We saw him take that responsibility against a prime LeBron. Like, and win a Finals
And
MVP
win.
based
And
on
win,
that.
nigga. Yeah.
So,
It's
like,
true.
he won a Finals MVP, averaging what was it? Damn, it was almost like 15 and 10, some BS. It was strictly
Yeah.
because you stopped the best player on the planet. As it was what, his third, fourth year in the league? Like,
Yeah.
ridiculous. So I think I have to go Kawhi. I really, 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 really wish he didn't get hurt as much as he did, or
Yeah.
does rather. Um, because he has some all-time playoff numbers on the offensive end as well. But I think I give it to him. And I like your point with KG. It was a big intimidation factor. And as an offensive player, if that confidence is taken out of you, a lot of your game is taken out of you. Whereas Kawhi,
Absolutely.
Kawhi don't even have to say anything to intimidate. He don't need to knock on the floor and do that other extra. Like, he don't need to do that. You see him and you see how big of a unit he is. You're like, yeah, let me get off this. So,
For real.
yeah, I
You see
think,
him step on the court, you're like, damn,
yeah, you're like, shit. Like, LeBron did it. He was at the free
man.
throw line and he looked back and he was like, damn, I got to deal with this dude again. So, yeah, I think I'm going to give it to Kawhi for sure.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. All right, brother. Remember I told you earlier that Kyrie might come back up? This is when
Mhm.
Kyrie might come back up. Because this one, I genuinely, Trill, like, I can't even go first because I don't know my answer. So I'm going to need your help on this one, okay? Who has the better lay package? Kyrie or Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan got a slept on lay package, bro. Slept on lay
It
package. I ain't
is
gonna lie.
slept on, especially because his hang time is
It's
stupid.
that's part of the reason why his lay package is wild. But I really don't know. Like, I really don't know. Like, I mean, I think Kyrie's sick with it, and like he understands crazy angles off the backboards that like I've never seen anybody else do. But then again, at the same time, like there's just certain moves that I've just seen, like bro, remember that Michael Jordan move where he had it on the
The
right and like
this and it-
went to the
when
left, nigga.
when
Like
I was a
that was
kid, I was
wild.
trying that, and I was like, bro, how did he?
How did he
What?
do that?
Even when I got
Like,
older, I'm like, bro, this don't make no sense. All right.
yeah. So I really don't know, gang. I'm gonna be honest with you. So like, and another the only thing I will give Kyrie is I think that like that gather that he does, like to go to the layup,
Mm,
that gathers like bro, sometimes he brings that shit to the floor, and then next, like the next step, he'll have it all the way
that low
above his
pickup
head.
is
Yeah.
crazy.
That low pickup is wild. I've never seen nothing like that. But I don't know though, gang. Who do you got? Help me out here.
I'm gonna go Kyrie, and I'm gonna
Okay.
go Kyrie
Okay.
because of course the things that you mentioned, the angles off the backboard, ridiculous. I know we had Jelly Fam growing up, but Kyrie was still the dude that I'm trying to up and under. Like, that he was the dude I was watching. But and one of my favorite like moves that I always see and I learned most from Kyrie is that pickup at the free throw, high pickup like this. You going from right to left, so like I'd say right wing of the free throw line, going to the left hand side, picking up like
Okay.
this, and just spinning it off the left side of the
Left
backboard.
side. Hmm.
Me practicing that myself, I understood how hard it was. Kyrie doing that amongst trees, crazy. But I also give it to Kyrie because he's 6'2" doing it with all these dudes. Jordan was 6'6". He was, of course, is that freakish athleticism. But we all always say if Kyrie was 6'6", we would have a problem. The league would have a problem. But even further than that, I consider floaters part of a layup package. I do. Kyrie's float game is
It's
ridiculous.
wild.
And I don't think I'll ever see Michael Jordan. What I saw Kyrie do with that left hand runner last year,
Bro, it was crazy,
I
bro.
don't know anybody all time. Fuck right now. All time. I don't know many people doing that. I don't like I don't. That left hand floater from the free throw line, he looked at his hand like, did y'all see what the
Bro, that was
like,
over Jokic, dog. That was
bro,
the
I'm
crazy thing.
saying like, so I think I have to give it to him for that aspect. I think with Jordan, it was more so a case of he's having fun, whereas Kyrie had to do this because if Kyrie didn't have this in his bag, it'd be tough for him. And Kyrie's one of the best finishers we've seen all time for a guy who can't dunk.
Man.
For a guy like, imagine that, one of the best finishers all time. He's probably only had like 4 or 5 dunks in his career, maybe probably a little bit more, but like
Yeah.
that just goes to show, like, come on, bro. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go Kyrie.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's what really was swaying me is just like his gather to the layup, and then the angles that he understands off the hoop. It's just wild to me. And I honestly, I'm gonna be
Mhm.
real with you, Trill. I wasn't even thinking about the floater, but you're damn right. A floater is a part of a layup. I mean, you go up to it like you're gonna lay it up. You just float it, and yeah, that floater on Jokic was wild, bro. Like
Ridiculous.
that, I remember I've seen it at first, and I had to rewatch it a couple of times because like I didn't really even believe it. I was like, bro, did he? I thought at first I thought he like kind of hooked it, but nah, that nigga really
Just
floated with his left. Bro, what the fuck? And he's
and it
right-handed.
for y'all that know, a floater with your left is so hard. Like a
So
layup
tough,
with your left is hard enough as it is for like
man.
just a beginning basketball player, but a floater with your like the touch you have to have with your offhand is just it's insane.
It's
It's
insane.
insane. But also, and I did want to add this to it, I love how Kyrie, when he gets to the cup, he uses his body to shield his layups also. There's times where after he gathers, he'll push away, but still keep this part of his body attached to the defender so that it gives him the opportunity to get up and over that defender. And that takes a level of difficulty that a lot of people it's very underrated because me personally, I'm a shorter check bounce off of you like layup kind of guy. You can't do that in the league because they're just strong enough, athletic enough to just get up and just send that shit. Kyrie, he knows how to engage with the defender long enough just to be like, all right, I'm good enough to get it high off the backboard, and that also goes into it a lot. Yeah, you got to study Kyrie's finishing, especially if you can't play above the rim. One of those dudes.
That's the guy. That's the guy to study. No, man. Trill, I'm right there with you, my brother. And I think this was a great episode, my brother. I think it was a
Oh
great
yeah,
episode. We got
I'll rock
into
with
a
this.
whole lot of just real barbershop hoops talk. And I appreciate you for making the time here for us, Trill. You have any last words to say before we get out of here, my brother?
Uh, of course, subscribe to Trill Buckets. Um, I would subscribe to the second channel that say I subscribe to a second channel that I'm making, but it's not a hoops channel and it's a no
It's
face
all good.
channel. So I
It's all good.
no
Let
no
him
I'm
know.
trying to stay anonymous. So
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
don't really I'll show my face on the channel when it's time, but just know if y'all see a new 2K YouTuber out there, just be like, I think I know who that is.
Just know if you see niggas getting popped by 40, just know Trill popping them. Just know
On
that.
God. On God, because I should have did it this last 2K because the way I was doing dudes on 24, 25 is about to be some crazy. But nah, tap into TB. I'm dropping my top 10 position rankings coming up very soon. And yeah, appreciate you having me on the show, gang. This was fun. This was fun. One of the best collabs I've done in a very long time.
Man, I appreciate you, and I know the family out there listening. I know they appreciate you too. And just like how Steph said, man, make sure y'all go show love. Subscribe to his channel. Everything will be in the link description down below. And follow his Instagram, follow Twitter. Everything will be linked down there, man. Follow his freaking threads. Steph got it going right now on threads, man. So go check him out on threads. I'm not
We
on
talking
threads, but I be
WNBA on
seeing,
thread.
yeah, I'm not on there, but I be seeing when you post it. I'm like, damn, he got crazy interaction. So go show love to his
Bro, numbers is crazy.
hey, but you deserve it though, gang. You deserve it, gang.
Appreciate
You
it.
you work hard, you know your hoops, man. And for the family out there, yeah, like I said, make sure you check out TB. For us, make sure you guys continue to show love. Check out Instagram, TikTok, all that, man. And stay tuned. We got some more videos coming up. But for now, we out of here, y'all. Peace.